Hey everyone, this is CEO Trades where money works for you. If you're looking to buy any type of stock, there are certain things you're going to have to do. And that's the reality in it. There's no other way around it. If you don't do the due diligence, how else are you going to know? Well, stay tuned for the next few minutes as we go into some stocks we're going to be investing for the long term in 2022 and onward. So here we're looking at land, Gladstone Land. Gladstone Land, I've been watching this one for, a very long time, at least 2 years now. And land, when it was around 18, I picked up some, 17, I believe is what it was, somewhere around here. And look at it go. It's up to 32 right now. Is this a long-term buy? Well, I'll tell you this. Can you produce land? Unless it's virtually, absolutely not. You cannot produce land. And last week, Gladstone buys farmland in Florida for nearly 7.4 million. Land is going to be very, very tough to purchase if you don't have the big bucks for it. And I don't believe that a lot of these places are going to be sold that quickly from then on. They will be subleased. They're going to be controlled by these big big companies in conglomerates that are going to be investing in farming and so on. As you can see here, Gladstone bought some farmland in Florida for 7.4 million. And I know that's a big deal. I don't know how much land it is. I didn't research the news, but is this a long-term buy for me right now? This is a good long-term buy. You can see that even this chart is not going to show you every detail in here, but if you look in there, if we look at the last month, let's see what you can see here. You can see a chart better, and you can see that it went from 31 when it was at its high on this date right here on December 17th to December 18th, where it dropped to 29. But on all in all, this is a long-term hold for me. I don't know if you're looking to invest, but you can see that land has steadily gone straight upward, although it looks like it hasn't moved much, but it went from what it was back in 2018 at about, what was it? It was around $11.67 or so, and it's gone up to $32 right now. That is a wonderful move throughout time for some of you who like to park your money. That's the talk today. So let's take a few look at a few more quick stocks here that might be worthwhile of your time to invest in. DraftKings. Now, DraftKings hasn't been around that long. It's only been around since April 2020, and I've seen it fluctuate. I've seen it when it was in the 30-ish, and I invested some. I made some money, I believe. I don't know how much. I can't tell you. I'm not going to look at that information. I'm just letting you know that some of these are worthwhile to invest in the long term. It started out at 1760. It went up to 74. And on this date here, back in September of 2020, it went up to a high of 64. Right now it's at 28. Is this a long-term hold for me? Well, you can see everybody dropped here. I'd have to do some research and see why people drop, but when that happens, people let go of it. And that's when it's negative news has happened or people just sold off to cash in on their gains. And now, as I'm hearing this in the news, as I was driving today, I heard DraftKings. I was like, wait a minute, let me check out DraftKings. And DraftKings is back. I believe it's a good purchase now as we're in the holidays. People, when it's wintertime, people like to go to the casinos and invest and gamble, actually gambling at a higher risk. And DraftKings is one of those places that offers gambling. And you can see here last week, there was a whale trade placed on December 23rd. I'm not going to look into this. I don't know exactly what it is, if it's a call, if it's a put or anything like that. That all I know is that that's all that happened. I'm not doing all the research into this. This is just to let you know that this for me is a buy for the long term. It's at 28.20 right now. At 28, you can buy it at 28.06 and you can sell it at 28.10 right now. So this is a long-term hold for me, and I would definitely like to see more of DraftKings because people are into betting and into investing as well. Macy's right now is at 25. It went to a high of 38.95. That's amazing. When I purchased this one last year, it was at $6 a share. Last year, October 2020, October, it was at $6 a share. And I purchased, and I made a good amount. I made a decent amount because it went up to 22.71 somewhere in here. I don't remember exactly where it was. And let's see, this was, I don't remember exactly where it was, but I had purchased a good amount of shares, and this one went up to 22.71 Macy's, and then it went up to 37. If I would have held much longer, I would have made much more. However, I got a little bit anxious. I did make similar amounts, even though it went up to 37.95. This is the craziness of holding on for the long term. You miss out on the full gain. Look at it right now. It's at 25. That's why I believe that if you hold out, you're just letting Wall Street take the best of your money. And if you set a goal, you can set a sell if it would have reached 36. I mean, that would have been a long shot, but you can see anything is possible. Is 25 a buy for me right now? I'd say yes, because according to when I invested last year, that I invested in October, this one, Macy's went up through January. And now the talk is that people purchased a lot through the internet. People purchased a lot in the stores. And this, when the information comes out on the analysis of Macy's, you're going to be able to take gains. So I'd say jump in if you can in the next 2 or 3 days, 25, because this one will go up at least 10 to 20%. What's 10 to 20%? 10% is another 250. So at least to $27, $28, if not more. And I'd say if you make 10 to 20%, that's fine. But during this time, I recommend you hold well over a month before you sell. This one's a good hold for the long term because Macy's is expanding. Their Herald Square property is going to be going high rise eventually. I've read about it. I've done the research. I've been watching this stock for 2 years now, and I know that there's a lot going to be happening into this one. I'm not going to look into all the news behind it, but I do recommend it for the long term. Let's see here. Why am I going backwards? Jetblue. Jetblue is a stock that I like for the long term. And you can see here that it went from $15 back in December 31st of 2018. Where is it right now? It's actually below that. That's amazing. I had purchased this around the $6 to $10 share range, and it went up to the 20-ish range. I think I sold at 18 or 19, and now it's at 14.56. Is this a buy for the long term for me? Yes, it is. You bet. The airlines right now, they don't have a lot of news because supposedly people have canceled flights. But come the summertime, people will get back on. They will get anxious. People want to get to places. I want to get on planes and take trips. I don't just have a vacation. No, we do have an official vacation, but we like to take trips, and many trips say a lot about you. They say that you are able to take time to relax, to enjoy life, and to have some special moments with your loved ones. And that's what I like to do. Now let's take a look at another one here. Let's see. Why can I keep going backwards here? BCLI, Brainstorm Cell Therapeutics. Is this a long-term hold? This is a speculative stock that I've invested in. It was at $4. It's at $3.71. It's good for short term. I would not invest in this one for the long term. I don't like the actual stock. It doesn't look it to be in my favor. I wouldn't invest in it. You can see that back in October of 2020, it was at $17.95, and it's been pretty much flat ever since because it dropped once the coronavirus information came out for the first time. I presume that's when it happened. And now it's just flat down in the $3 to $4 range. I would not touch this one. And let's see another one here. HQG, I would not touch this one either. FCell is a hold, especially during the interim of this current president in the United States. He likes hydrogen fuel cell, and I am an investor in fuel cell. It's at $6 right now. It's been pretty low. This one has not been moving as much as I would like it to. However, it is a long-term hold. until at least before the president leaves, because this president favors hydrogen fuel cell. I don't know why, but this is one of those companies that he favors. We're going to take a look at another one as well. Now, let's take a look at another one here. Now, the other one here is Plug. This is Plug. Plug is at $29 right now. I'm invested in this one for the long term. I'm holding until at least it reaches the $60-ish range. It hasn't been up there since last year. It's almost going to be a year in January. And I know this one's going to be going up. Again, this is one of those stocks that is moved a lot by the current president because he likes the hydrogen fuel cell, and I like it as well. I've read a lot about the information on this one, and I believe we're going to get more and more information on this. Ford was around $3 or $4 range. Geez, when in March of 2020, and look where it's at right now. It's at $20. Ford has reinvented itself, and it is into the electric vehicle right now. It has made a major shift and has made powerful moves. I believe this is a long-term hold. It is at its highs right now. I'd say wait for information to come out in January. This one should drop a little bit before it starts to go up. It might even, I don't know if it will reach the 12, but it should reach somewhere in the $15 to $18 range. I would wait a little bit on this one to here, because I know that not all the vehicles are being moved. However, there's a demand for electric vehicles, and Ford is moving into that one. Let's take a look at Bed Bath & Beyond. And Bed Bath & Beyond right now is at $16. It was at $53 last year in January, and it hasn't hit that mark since. What's happening with this one, Bed Bath & Beyond? Is this a buy? I believe it's a buy, especially since the news came out today that a lot of people have purchased retail during the holidays. I would buy this one for the long-term hold, and it's at $16. It could go up at least to 30. I would hold off at least to the 20-ish range, 25, 28-ish range. It doesn't have to reach perfectly 30, but I would cash in if it goes. A realistic goal is 10 to 20%. If it goes above that, that's wonderful. Holding this one for a longer term period, yeah, why not? It's in retail, and I believe that Bed Bath & Beyond will be around unless there's some news here. Oops. This is some notes that I take as I invest, and you can see where I was watching this one. If you want to look into my notes there, needs to gap up at least over 50% for a gap up short from previous close. So this, I can't tell you right now what it means because it would take some time, but this one has gone straight down. It's flat. It's not a buy for me right now. I'd have to do some more research on this one. PSEC, the electric company, Prospect Capital, Prospect Capital. As this one I've been watching since it was around $4, and look, it's at $9 right now. It's consolidating $8.56. Is this a long-term purchase right now? No, I'd like to see what happens in January before I purchase into this one. X is a steel company, United States Steel Corporation. This one's at $23.71. I was watching when it was at $5 or $6. Look at it where it's at now. Is this a long-term hold? Well, steel is going to get more and more expensive as time goes on because it's a hot commodity, and people are interested in steel for many reasons. I mean, the trains, the railways need steel, so that's very, very important. It's at $23.71. I'd say this is good to buy for and hold for at least till it gets to the $28 range, which would give you at least 20% gains, if not more, 30% gains actually. Let's see, what else are we looking at here? I want to give you 2 or 3 more. GE Capital, General Electric, sorry. That one is at $94 right now. That one, it had a reverse split, I believe, or something like that. Where did that happen? If you check down here, I believe it was right here. This was a 1-to-8 reverse split, and look at where it went from where it was at $13, which was when I was holding, all the way to 94. You don't necessarily make more money when it does the reverse split, but right now it's below what it offered at the reverse split, meaning the company makes more money than you do. And that's why sometimes it's worthwhile to take some gains, so that way you don't leave it all for the company. NIO is another electric car company, and you can see it's at $29.96. I believe this is a good long-term hold. This is, I believe, a Chinese or a Japanese company. I haven't seen the news in a while, so bear with me if I don't remember exactly. But this one's a hold in this range. I'd have to look at it at the news, but I would say this one you can hold until it reaches the 40 to 50-ish range. Will it keep going up or down? I'd have to do some more research, but this would be one of those that I'd be willing to hold, because I remember when it was at this range at $1 and I was investing on the way up. I didn't expect it to go this high. One other important stock that we're going to end with is Norwegian Cruise Line. You can see it went from $59 a share all the way down to $7. It's at 22 right now. I expect this one to go at least to 35 by the time May or June comes around. However, if you want to hold this for the long term, you can see it's a steady, very slow increase. It did dip a little bit down from its highs back in June, which was at 33. I'd say this was a good long-term hold. Norwegian Cruise Lines. If you're interested in cruise lines, there are other cruise line companies out there. This is CeoTrades. If you're looking to double your bank account, triple your bank account, why don't you invest in your knowledge account so that your money will grow multiplied? We're here at ceodaviddiaz.com getting ready to release our stocks and our crypto trading programs in the next several days. So get ready, get set, and here we go. This is CeoTrades, where money works for you. Until tomorrow, where we'll look at another point on investing in reference to stocks or crypto. Take care, stay safe, and until the next one.